Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Doctor. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest. The little bit of rain we had in the morning definitely cleared up, and I hope you guys are ready for your Friday night and for your weekend to be happening right now. We do have another Feature Friday build. It is going to be the Maximum MR and the Worst Luck team by Bob Thy Dad. You guys might recognize him. He is from our stream. He's in there almost every night. Can't talk tonight. Almost every night. Bob, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi there. My name is Bob. Not my real name, but hey. Yeah, the MR team, based off the fact that I got a bunch of URs, but never any materials to actually do anything with them. So I just kind of got stuck with these guys. Even though I've been playing since launch, you would think I'd at least have some decent URs, but here we are.
So you tend to specialize in the B team, is what you're saying then.
You got to maximize with what you got.
So why don't you go ahead and tell me just a little bit about this build?
So the basis of it is using obviously the more of the free units that we get, MONT, GAFF, and SHTOLA. Very, very easy to level, very easy to maximize until you get some units up in, Awaken 5, Awaken 6, Limit Break 3, etc. They're going to be better than their UR counterparts, so it actually makes them worth using until then.
I'm actually kind of curious here. You got Mont, you got Gafgarian, and you got SHTOLA. Why did you choose not to include Etre?
She's not as strong. SHTOLA,
Wow.
it's what it is. SHTOLA, while a lot of people crap on her in terms of her magical abilities, things like that, she hits hard. And especially right now, where not many people are expecting magic to happen, she can be I guess almost like a black horse. Her Everybody sleeps on foul, but it hits everybody. It does massive damage. Like it's a good overall unit.
I think Foul is one of her most important abilities, actually. Taking a look at her stat screen here, we do see that you do prefer the Sorceress sub. And you got Eno Chain maxed on her for that magic plus 30%. You got March of Saints for that Nullify Doom. Would you ever change out March of Saints for any of her other passives, like the debuff resistance and magic resistance passives?
You can, but honestly, it makes very, very little difference. The main thing is having the plus 30 magic. Everything else is going to depend on who you're going up against. And honestly, it's not worth spending the gil to sit there and raise the resistances because not many arena teams and what have you are sitting there and debuffing.
Do you think there's any value? I know there's been a lot of talk about it on the stream, and you were there last night, so you probably saw us talking about it, of setting SHTOLA's sub as White Mage and using her as a healer at all.
Her AI for healer is absolute garbage. It'll be great to use in upcoming and PvE content in the tower when you're not sitting there autoing. But in this case, you lose foul, first of all, which is a huge loss. And second of all, she rather walk around than heal people. So you might as well deal that.
Finally, one of the other questions I have to ask you about this, and we kind of joked about it when we were messaging, what's up with the Rhinestone Ring?
It just happens to be what I have. The big thing about SHTOLA is that her Nightseeker Trust weapon is actually not that good. It doesn't have a lot of magic and HP. You can actually have a healing staff that has more HP and magic than what Nightseeker does. I just don't have the books to do it, thus I have Nightseeker. If you have the books to do a healing staff, which is only an SR weapon, it's easy to raise, then you can actually go Eter's Trust weapon and the Boxer badge for additional HP, crit, and agility.
Gotcha. So I think this is a really great to call out. Like, you're still in mid-build of this build, right? Like, it's still not in its final form, you might say.
Oh yeah, no, there's a lot. I mean, the big thing is that you can sit there and you can invest in this build. But I mean, I'm trying to invest in what UR stuff I have so I can get out of this build.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the healing staff alone, I wish I had, because even if I go to Medina, it's still a really good weapon. I just don't have.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Finally, would you ever change out Leonis Castle for something else with that defense plus 15 spirit from plus 15? Or have you found that to be really vital on SHTOLA?
It's great for allowing her to live, especially in the current arena. You have a lot of Orlandos, mainly, that like to smack you with Crush Armor over the wall. And honestly, having that little extra defense can keep her alive just long enough to get over to deal damage while MONT soaks up. You can switch it out for Shiva when you get it, because evasion for the party is great. You can use Rama just for raw stats. You can use Trosasu, I can never how to pronounce the damn thing, but the magic attack one. The only reason I don't say go Siren, even though you get her for free, is that she provides nothing else to the party. She's just mainly raw stats. You're better off giving the party some extra crit.
Yeah, I think so as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at Gafgarian here. So you do, of course, use Gafgarian's Vermilion, which is going to add confusion onto attack. You do use the Mithril Armor and the Brave Ring, so you're doing the Dodge Mithril Armor and the Aim Brave Ring. You know, I'm so sorry. It actually looks like I misspelled Behemoth's name here on the slide. I don't know why I used the male iteration. It's terrible, I know, right? But of course, you're going to be using the best Esper on Gafgarian. Secret orders for the agility plus and spirit minus, slash attack plus 10. Subjob Fell Knight, looks like you're going for the maximum attack build, so you're doing plus 80% attack with the resistance minus 8%. And oh man, my slide got all sorts of jacked up here. Oh, I hope the chat doesn't, I hope they don't hold me accountable for this too bad. His mastery ability, of course, goes with initial AP plus 10 and critical damage plus 25. How would you say that you've been utilizing your Gafgarian, and what's your kind of primary abilities that you're hoping for here?
Main thing is, and I can't remember the name of it, it's his like a level 12 ability, just the massive AoE that does damage to him. I wish I could remember the damn name of it. But that thing is just strong as hell.
I think we all know the attack. It's like the hazard break technique, but it's changed names, right?
Right, yeah, and it can actually hit more than one target, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it kills Orlandus in one shot. It can kill Ramza in one shot. Does pretty good damage to Ingleberts, which is like your good metas right now. Can actually there's multiple moves he has that can one shot Frederica if he can get close enough. So I mean, he's just the glass cannon. Hope you can get the one hit off and prick.
Do you ever find his confusion from Vermilion procs a lot for you?
No, once I think I've seen it happen. It's mainly there as a stat stick, and the additional crit is not.
So it's mostly just there so that you can stack on either like another Brave Ring or that Dodge Armor or something like that?
Pretty much, yeah. You get more overall stats by using that over, say, like using a Lionheart or Nagarok or something like that. Even though you lose a bit of attack, he gets a little bit more survivability, and hopefully it gives him an extra.
Yeah, I think it does give him that little bit of extra survivability there. You cut off at the end, but I think I know exactly what you're talking about there. And a quick call out too, his Mithril Armor doesn't need to be +5, and his Brave Ring doesn't need to be +5, right?
Nope, not at all. The bonuses that they give for maxing aren't that high, or really aren't that good for him. Mainly just get as much stats on him as you.
Yeah, I think that's going to be lining up perfect there. And transitioning to the final unit here, we have Mont, and he's going to have Excalibur. And why did you choose to use the Iron Armor +5 on him instead of the Mithril Armor?
Big slash meta. So the fact that he can get an additional 5 slash resist means that he can hopefully take an extra shot. And especially since he's also part paladin, he gets the auto not die ability. I forget what that gets called. But between those, he can just take a few more hits and kind of take the heat off of your SHTOLA and GAFF, who are glass cannons.
And you definitely pair that with the Iron Giant to give that even more slash attack resistance. You give the Vow of Love on him to pull the aggro. Subjob Paladin, he also has Crown Prince of Leonis for attack plus 30%. Holy Knight's Protection for an additional defense plus 12 on top of the Iron Armor's defense, which I believe is higher than defense 8 on the TMR, right?
It can be. If you go Vital, then the Lion's Emblem gives you more defense. If you go Shield, you don't get as much HP, but you do get more defense. It kind of depends on what you end up.
And then, of course, you got the HP plus 12% from that, and then you got Sword Guard, which is the 20% chance to mitigate 30% of damage taken, and then you have his Mastery ability, which is an innate defense plus 15, jump plus 1. What do you find Mont's primary role is? Do you find he's actually able to kill other units, and how does he do that?
So he definitely can deal some damage. He's not meant to be a killer unit, but I do Crown Prince on him because I feel that the amount of HP that, say, HP level up 1 gives it doesn't make a big enough difference. And when you're already working with MR units that are already having issues getting damage out, having that little extra on MONT could make the difference in killing a unit versus not killing a unit.
Yeah, I think that makes absolute sense. And I think Excalibur is, of course, an excellent option to have on him for that accuracy right now with everyone going evasion.
Yeah, that's the main reason why I haven't switched is the accuracy on it. It's way too.
It's too good, right? We're gonna go ahead and go to the final slide here, which is your Feature Friday scorecard. So I'm gonna go ahead and read off the score for you. We got a match battle. It's going to probably be about a 7 out of 10. Arena, 6 out of 10. GVG, 6 out of 10. This comp is really meant for that free-to-play player, that entry player who's really just trying to make a dent, not trying to conquer everything. You want to be useful. Is that correct?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's doing the best with what you got until hopefully you get something.
And then we have a viability of 10 out of 10. Everyone should have access to these units. There are some time limited here, but I have no doubt that we're going to have other time limited units in the future, and those are just going to slide in and replace these units. For creativity, I give you an 8 out of 10 because I think Maximum MR and Worst Luck Team is such a funny title for a team. You do get -9 for having 3 TMRs, but I'm not going to count that because all the TMRs are very free-to-play accessible, and most free-to-play players are going to have easy access to this. For your waifu tier, I'm giving you 0 out of 10 because I think they're all terrible waifus.
Whoa. Don't be hating on my SHTOLA like that.
Well, you have a chance. Go ahead and argue for your SHTOLA. Why do you think she should be getting points?
Because she's the best damn Scion in Final Fantasy XIV. Fight me, IR.
I mean, it's lucky that this point category doesn't count. Because I think she's definitely not the best damn Scion. I think for plot reasons, I think there are much better Scions in the future that are not there yet. They might not be called Scions, but they're going to be getting there.
I mean, we can agree to disagree.
We can agree to disagree. For limited time units, I did put -4 just because you do have 2 limited time units in here. But I think most of the time people are going to be able to have access to either other similar MR units, or they're going to be able to get another free-to-play unit from the current event that we're in. In terms of UR units, you get no points deducted because they're all MR. For fun value, I put 7 out of 10, and for free-to-play value, I put 10 out of 10. Putting you at a total score of 42 out of 70, which is admirable, I think, for a free-to-play composition.
Yeah, it's not bad. Also, my dogs are going insane.
That's just the life of having dogs. Anyone who's been on stream knows that I have 2 upwards of 3 dogs, and they just go nuts sometimes. I have a cat that bites me, so pretty normal stuff
cat
here.
Luckily doesn't bite too much, but dogs like to bark whenever anybody comes home.
Yeah.
Even though they know they're coming home.
Yeah, even though it's someone they've seen come home every single day, they've got to bark, right?
But yeah.
Well, you guys, thank you so much for actually sitting through this, watching our Feature Friday. Do remember that you can apply to be in Feature Friday by joining our Discord. You can always just go to the Feature Friday section, or you can direct message me any type of Feature Friday build, and I will, of course, take a look at it and decide whether or not to feature it. Thank you so much, you guys, for listening today. Thank you for having Bob on. Bob, thank you so much for being here.
Anytime.
And thank you so much, you guys. Have a great rest of your day.